Throughout the years, our favourite female toe ally, which is of course April Neal, has had some very unique versions throughout the decades, and I feel like it might be a good time to explore these versions and just really rank them and see which is like probably the best one and which is also the worst one. Now I've got a feeling that most people will say that is either 2012 or Rise, and they probably have some good reasons, but I'll explain my one when I get to those ones. But yeah, please let me know what one you think is the best one and worst one in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get into this one. Let's go! And before we do get started, if you do like this content and want to see more from this channel, please do make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications. Now let's go on with the video. And number 9 had to be the Rise of the TMNT. Now, if you're thinking it's because of her being African American, no, that is beyond the reason why. And if anything, is probably the reason why I like the show so much is because of the diversity in the cast and in the show. But like, my main reason why I dislike this version more than all the other ones is because of her personality. Now, if I've been more like confident in like fighting, for instance, she was able to get more hits on Shudder in the final battle than Donnie, which that doesn't really happen too much. And yeah, I would like to know where she got this attitude from or how she got this guild. Yeah, I just don't really like her personality, like just being more confident than Turtles. And like some people said that if you like change the name for April to be Angel, you would see absolutely no difference. And to be honest, they are correct. I'm sorry about that. And number 8 had to be the 2007 version. This version was okay. Had no story arc, no character growth. To be honest, had no real reason that should be there, if anything. The only reason was to tell Leonardo to come home. That was it, really. Yeah, that's the only reason why she was there. I don't understand. No, there's no reason for her character to be there. You take her scenes out, you could literally have the same movie and not change a single thing. Well, except for maybe getting a Gila there, but other than that, she was pointless. And number 7 had to be the Mirage one from 1984. Yeah, this character doesn't really go through too many character or story arcs or character growth until you get to like the last 2 volumes, which are okay. She becomes a mother. I think she gets cancer or something like that. She goes through her problems, like a fair share of problems, but because they are not really presented too well at the beginning, if not at all, as really more just because she's there, she's just used in the story to make it seem like she's doing stuff. I feel like this one is probably not really the best one. But at the same time, I will give it some credit that this one was the first one, or first version of April. So basically every other version was or the ideas came off of this one. So I will give it credit for that. And number 6, and to be the 1987 version. Now this one, again, does not go through any story arcs or character development. It causes more problems than creates solutions. He gets Toes into trouble and he kills him like loads of times called the Shredder and all that. She only wants a story, not really thinking about the Toes too much. And yeah, if you also actually find like find a different way for her to be there, I think that would be okay. But because she's only there just because she needs a story and no other reason, this all does make this character a bit useless in a way. And number 5 had to be the 1990 movie, and also we'll say about the last 3 movies as well. So yeah, this is a version. They don't really go to into many character arcs or story arcs or anything like that. But I will say this: the idea of making this character to be like a cross between the Mirage one and also the 1997 version, I feel like worked really well. It's like a version between both worlds, and worked really well. Had like a good, played off the characters really well and all that. Good relationship with Casey. Yeah, overall, a good character. I'd say if you was to give her a good story arc, or make her actually be there in make her reasoning for being there more important. And so we'll just go for like the Mirage one where she doesn't really have much of a reason to be there other than she is there, so she is sort of important. And number 4 had to be the 2014 version. Now, many people would have, and many people do have mixed feelings about this one, because it's Megan Fox and all that. To be honest, it never really bothered me. The character played more in line with the 1987 version, but was better. More people do have like a complaint with her being more like getting hit and shot in the back and all that. Again, it doesn't really bother me too much. It's just more like a fucking shredder, or it's not along those lines. It was still unique and good. I'll say that much. And with that movie, it was all about rebooting and giving new, like just changing everything to be more modern. And I feel like this version does show it off really well. Also, I feel like with her being more connected or more involved with the Turtles' backstory, I felt like they had a very good way of really just bonding them more closely without actually being together much. However, I do feel in the second movie she does have more of a better reason to be there and have like a better chemistry with the characters. Yeah, that was it really. And number 3 had to be the IDW version. Now, this character plays a little bit of part in the backstory, which is good. She doesn't really have much of a reason to be there, though. And I feel like this sort of goes throughout every version of April. However, I don't think she goes through any story arcs. But when she's there, she does have a reason to be there. So I will give her that. And so far she has been there for quite a while, and she's still going strong and still doing unique stuff. However, in the most recent comics, she's not really there as much, and she still has just become like less of a psychic character, more of like, oh, she might be in this issue, she might not, but if she's not, then oh well, who cares? Yeah, so I feel like it was do more this character, give us not really backstory, but like more reason to be there, story arcs and all that. This version could be up there, but just for now, because there's nothing really going on, and to be honest, it never really was, this character has sort of gone a bit boring. And number 2 had to be the 2012 version. Now, while most people would say this is their best version, I do like this version. She goes through like a very long story arc of her becoming like a Kinoichi, and I thought that was a very good one, and her become like having powers. However, I do feel like the power bit was just more of, like, just give us something to be unique and interesting. It does work, and that connection with the Krang, I thought, was pretty much like, maybe like a bit forced into it, and just like they're all one and something like that. But with the simping thing for Donnie and all that, that did not really age too well. I would say that. But to be honest, that relationship, even with Casey's one, it never really went anywhere, and they sort of just really stopped it and just never really talked about it ever again. So I do have my fair share of problems with this character, but at the same time, she does have some very good compelling arguments to be that very good character. But if they were to do this character again or revisit this version, I say they need to sort out the problems before you can move on with any new good stuff. And number 1 had to be the 2003 version. What can I say? This one was my childhood one. I grew up in her, and amazing. I don't think there was too many story arcs or character growth. Like, she did become more confident and more of like a less of a target. I mean, she never really was vulnerable or target. Like, but she could more defend herself in like season 4. So there's that little story arc, and also her finding Uncle Oggy. So there were some elements of her having a story arc and character growth. Probably not as good or as developed as other characters, but there was elements of them trying to do that. And if they were to do like more seasons, I feel like they probably could have given them more of a reason to be there. With Casey's and her relationship, brilliant, perfect. That final episode, the wedding, best. Maybe not the best season finale ever, but it's the best. It's the best episode from that season. And so yeah, let me know what you think your favorite version is in the comments below. I'm really interested to see which one is because like again I do think it might be 2012 or Rise. And if it is, good for you. If it's not, let me know why. But yeah, this is gonna be it for today, guys. If you do this one, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo. Bye.